All right, I'm going to show you guys something that electrician showed me once, and electricians do this. You know, we're all used to going and turning off the breaker. Yes, that is the safest way, don't get me wrong. But there is a way of changing out a switch without having to shut off the power if you understand electricity. So, I'm in my kid's bathroom. I'm going to swap out a switch that is broken, and I'm not going to shut off the electricity. I'm not going to shut off the breaker. And I'm going to kind of talk my way through this so that you guys can see how it's done. Now I'm going to have to shut off the power, obviously, because I'm going to take the switch out. So I'm going to have a headlamp on, so the light will be a little different. But anyway, it works, right? All right, so I've taken off the cover plate and I'm going to swap out this switch. It's, as you can see, it's busted. So let's take it out. Okay, so I'm going to draw it out to me, and I always like to know like which of the leads is hot. So I've got this little electricity sensor from Southwire, voltage sensor. So this one's the one that's hot, this one is not hot until I flip the switch. Now the top one is hot as well. So that's where the electricity gets connected and gives lights, power to the lights. So the first thing you're going to do, and while you're doing this, you want to keep your hands away from the screws, right? And you want to have on some rubber-soled shoes. So I'm going to take off the ground. It's the first thing I'm going to do. Okay. Get that up and out of the way. And then I'm going to take out the top one. Again, holding this by the edges. Okay. And we know from our test just a second ago that this is not hot. We can test it again. All right, not hot, hot. Checking the other side to make sure there's no metal, and put my finger against it to put a little more pressure on the screwdriver. Now here's the cool part. I've got on rubber-soled shoes, and this isn't grounded, so I can essentially touch this and watch the sensor here. All right, the electricity is passing through my body and lighting up over here, but I'm not grounded, so it's not going to ground, or I am grounded, or I'm not grounded. It can't go to the ground, in other words. So it just travels over here, which is pretty cool. All right, so we got that. We got this Ultra Pro from GE, whatever. This works with any switch, essentially. You just have to be cognizant of never grabbing this wire, right? And this wire. Then the electricity will go through your body and out your other finger, and you'll feel the jolt, which always feels amazing, as it were. Okay. So I'm going to hook up the top first. And the first thing I'm going to do is give this just a tiny twist. Okay. The same thing with this one here. All right. And then I'll take my switch. It says right here this is the top, so I'm assuming that's on, that's off. Again, checking for no metal on the back. Sometimes there's another screw in the back, so if you put your finger across it, you know, depending on how you got it set up, you might shock yourself. But it's 110 volts. I mean, it hurts, but it's not going to kill you, generally. So again, this is a hot wire. All right. Make sure that that wire stays close against that screw. Okay. And now, before I put my ground back on, I'll hook up my other wire. Again, this is where you got to be careful, because now I've got actually I don't have electricity passing to this. Oh shoot. Let's do that again. Alright, so I'm going to move the ground down and out of the way. I'll come up here. The reason I do that is I don't want to ground myself. I think I'm calling it right. I just don't want the ground to touch. Okay, so I still don't have power over here, right? The screw is still dead until I turn the switch on. Now I've got the lights back on. Okay. All right, now if I were to touch both of these together, yes, I would get shocked if this switch was in the up position, because power would run from here. Actually, if I touched this and this together right now, it would cross my body and probably turn the lights on as I screamed and whatnot. All right. I'm going to put on the ground. Again, touching from the outside here. Okay, and it's done. So, we'll just gently bend these wires. This is copper, so I mean, it bends, but you also don't want to kink them up too bad inside. And you want to make sure this ground wire doesn't reach over and touch the other screw on the other switch. It's no good. All right. All right. And we'll put on the cover again. I love these unbreakable plates. They're really great. Make life so much easier. They just bend. They're soft plastic. All right, again, I'll spare you the boring part here. Right, so, I mean, easy to do. Yes. Again, it is safer if you do it with the breaker off, but it is doable without the breaker being off, as long as you understand electricity and what to touch, what not to touch. This light, by the way, my dad got it for me for, I think it was Father's Day. You've probably seen them at like Walmart, one of those as seen on TVs. This light is fantastic. It's got a little bar in the front that lights up, different, and then you got this side light, a couple of different dim settings, and it's got a little switch right here that if you turn this on, I believe, let's see. There we go. You can actually wave your hand, there it is, and turn it on and off. So a great addition to your, this is what you use when you're trying to give yourself a seizure. And let's go ahead and turn that off. All right, hope you learned something. It was fun. I like doing it that way instead of having to go down, especially when I'm alone, right? I gotta go downstairs, I gotta turn off a switch or a breaker. Run upstairs, see if it's off. If it's not off, go back downstairs, back and forth, back and forth. With something small like this, I usually don't turn off the breaker. and you can do it too. So just be careful. This is just a demonstration. I'm not telling you to do it without the breaker off. I'm just telling you it's possible. All right, later.